Well, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of everyone at Laminations, we appreciate you taking time today to join us for this webinar event. Well, it probably goes without saying that we're all feeling the impact of COVID-19, and the purpose of this webinar is to discuss potential new market opportunities that have presented themselves as a result of this unprecedented pandemic. But before we get started, I'd like to make some introductions. I'm Lisa Raymakers, and I serve as the dedicated account manager for the Central Region. I'm joined by Art Weiss, our account manager in the Northeast, and Corey Nugent, our lead packaging engineer. While I'll be kicking us off today, you'll be hearing from both Art and Corey soon. So I'd like to give you a preview of what we plan to cover today. First, we'll be discussing the top shopping trends based on today's unique COVID-19 environment. And then, based on those trends, we'll delve into the furniture market. Next, we'll cover some of the most common packaging challenges when shipping furniture-related items, followed by application-specific solutions. And before we wrap up, we'll review some of the unique resources and technical support that our team can provide to you and your customers. Well, I think it's safe to say that the COVID-19 global pandemic will be one of the most defining events of 2020, and it will no doubt have lasting effects. But for right now, I'd like to explore how COVID-19 is impacting current consumer behavior, including what consumers are buying, when they are buying, and how they are buying. The last 2 months of isolation and uncertainty have resulted in some notable outcomes. While consumers are pessimistic about the future, and the majority of people expect a continued downturn in the economy, we're actually seeing more than a 30% increase in online spending. In fact, some of the latest intelligent polls show that permanent changes are occurring in key industries with major shifts to virtual alternatives. Specifically, 72% of consumers said that they plan to do more shopping online so that they can ship directly to their homes. And while it's no surprise that online shopping has become part of the new normal, it's important that we don't discount this shift in buying behavior, especially since these changes will undoubtedly open up new growth opportunities in your business. So let's dig into what people are actually buying. The first two buying trends are probably no surprise. With the stay-at-home order, many more people are buying groceries and medical supplies online. If you have customers in these vertical markets, you've probably seen increased activity over the last couple of months. The next trend, backyard betterment, has also created an unexpected surge in spending. When you combine the warmer spring weather with all of the extra time that people are spending at home, consumers are demonstrating a desire to invest in their home and backyard spaces. Purchases for outdoor furniture, play sets, and landscape and gardening supplies are at an all-time high. Another relevant trend that is right behind an increase in subscription services is a spike in fitness equipment. People want to continue their workout routines during this time of quarantine, and they're accomplishing this by investing in home fitness equipment. Even though fitness centers will eventually reopen, our research shows that 85% of consumers plan to continue exercising at home post-pandemic. The next notable trend is the rise in the home furniture space. While furniture might seem like the last concern for people facing a pandemic, the need and desire for comfortable and protective spaces during quarantine has opened up a tremendous opportunity for furniture brands. And with so much of the workforce working remotely, it's no surprise that there's been an upswing in the home office furniture segment. On a related note, people are looking for ways to be productive during this time of isolation at home. After all, you can only watch so much Netflix, and let's face it, people want to like where they are spending the majority of their time. So consumers are embracing the opportunity to embark on home improvement and DIY projects. We're seeing spikes in online furniture buying like never before. As a matter of fact, during the month of March alone, online browsing for desks, outdoor and indoor furniture, and home decor increased by over 200%. So these are the top 7 trends in consumer spending during this pandemic lockdown. It's encouraging to see that 4 out of the top 7 trends will have a positive impact on the protective packaging market, and we're excited for the opportunities that this brings to our distribution partners. While we know that life will return to normal at some point, we anticipate that these trends will hold for the rest of 2020. Specifically, we expect that shoppers will continue to stay close to home, buy online, exercise at home, and make their homes more comfortable, both inside and out. Now I'll turn it over to Art, who will discuss the furniture market.
Thank you, Lisa. We have great solutions for products that are big, bulky, and expensive. For the rest of the presentation, we are going to refer to all those product types listed in the trends as furniture. When it comes to furniture markets, protective packaging has 3 main players. One is the actual manufacturer of the furniture. The second is the furniture retailer that sells through e-commerce. And the third are the companies who are importing assembled or unassembled furniture from overseas. Let's take a closer look at each of those types of furniture segments. Domestic demand for the furniture manufacturing industry has risen strongly over the last 5 years, driven by the housing market. It is a $26 billion industry with over 10,000 US manufacturers. Keeping in mind that this industry not only includes your couches, dresses, but it also includes institutional furniture, such as school furniture, hospital beds, office and restaurant seating. There was one trend, even before COVID, that was occurring that should be no shock to anyone. We have been seeing domestic furniture manufacturers losing ground due to competition from cheap imports from overseas. We will talk more on that in a few slides. Manufacturers have long struggled with protective packaging of big, bulky, heavy, and expensive furniture. Costs associated with damaged products can really make or break the bottom line of these types of manufacturers or online retailers. Here is a great example of a simple but very effective protective packaging upgrade. The producer of the living room furniture was experiencing costly damages that occurred during transit. Their distributor's knee-jerk packaging offering was corrugated, which did not have the beam strength to give the required protection. We simply substituted our VBoard in the appropriate caliper, along with strapping, to help ensure the structural integrity of the couch. The customer was thrilled with this simple but effective solution. The online furniture industry includes companies that retail a large range of indoor and outdoor home furniture, such as sofas, beds, tables, and chairs via the internet. The industry goods are typically purchased from manufacturers and wholesalers and then sold to the public online. This market is $13 billion and growing rapidly. Consumers are increasingly turning to the internet for convenience and often discounted pricing. Consequently, the number of operators has grown at an annualized rate of 8.7%, reaching 1,700 businesses over the last 5 years. Feel free to reference our previous webinar on e-commerce. Rather than spending big in brick and mortar stores, consumers will increasingly turn to less costly options that are offered online. As a result, the industry is expected to continue to experience high growth. This period of time where we have been forced indoors will most likely speed the trend. I am confident most of you have had purchased online products arrive in such poor condition as in these pictures. Nobody wants to spend good money to see their purchase arrive in this form, whether at business or at home. My coworker Ann, now working from home during the COVID situation, ordered the above table for her newly created basement office space. This came from a popular online retailer, with the first order arriving with damage to the table. This is a picture of the second set they shipped her. That was after telling her to keep, donate, or dispose of the first table. How many times is this happening? Someone at the online company has to care about that bottom line when products are continually resent at no cost to the consumer. This is where you and your Laminations account representative can help. Several solutions will be discussed shortly. The third main player are the importers, which have captured a growing share of the industry's market and are expected to meet 56% of the US demand for household furniture. China and Vietnam are the two largest sources of US furniture imports. They have lower wage costs and regulatory burdens than the United States. Local importers buy in bulk from overseas. Products are shipped over in large cargo containers that come over on the slow boat. Once they arrive here, these items need to be individualized or repackaged for sale, either at wholesale, retail locations, or for e-commerce. It is important to recognize, although they do not make the furniture, they are almost always repackaging the product and should be targeted for a sales call. Usually items that come from overseas have poor packaging or are only bulk packaged with no regard for the individual sale. This allows them to put more product into the containers. These importers need to reinforce items before shipping to the customers to prevent damage. Here we see various sizes of packaged glass office mats. The great benefit of using VBoard here is that this customer is easily cutting down longer lengths of VBoard to accommodate each size of the glass mats. Again, minimizing packaging SKUs. I now return you to Lisa, who will further discuss shipping damage and proven successful solutions.
Thanks, Art, for all of the great insights on the furniture industry. As you mentioned, next I'd like to dig into some of the specific challenges related to transporting big, bulky, and heavy furniture-related items. It's probably fair to say that you've all received a package that has arrived at your home with some type of damage. In fact, it's estimated that packages being shipped via an e-commerce channel are handled a total of 20 times throughout the supply chain process. So it's no surprise that a high percentage of these shipments incur some type of damage before they hit your doorstep. As seen in these images, corrugated packaging alone often does not provide sufficient protection throughout the distribution and shipping process. Many of the steps that are required to get a shipment from its starting point to its final destination can result in damage that makes the item unusable for the buyer. And when this happens, research shows that the total cost to repair or rework the damaged product can be 17 times more costly than the original shipment. So now that we've established that damage during the shipping process is a real problem for the furniture industry, we'd like to discuss some of the products that we have available to protect your clients' packages in transit. Laminations has a wide range of products that have been designed to address furniture-specific applications and their unique requirements. And during the next part of our discussion, we'll explore these products in greater detail. Let's start with VBoard. VBoard is the workhorse in this industry because it can be customized to suit a variety of applications. As shown in the image on the left of this slide, VBoard is being cut to size and applied to the outside of a carton of ready-to-assemble furniture. By adding this extra layer of protection to the standard corrugated packaging, the product is protected from various impacts during the fulfillment and delivery process, and it arrives at the consumer's doorstep in perfect condition. This slide shows the same ready-to-assemble furniture, but different packaging based on two very different fulfillment channels. On the left, we see product that is being fulfilled via an e-commerce channel. Once VBoard has been affixed to the outside of the carton, these packages are shrink-wrapped, labeled, and sent via parcel delivery to the consumer's front door. By contrast, on the right, we see the same furniture packaged for shipment to big box stores across the country. Rather than shrink-wrapping individual units, the product is stacked tightly on a pallet and shipped in bulk to a reseller. In this instance, the VBoard provides containment and unitization on the pallet. As shown in both the previous slide and the image on the left, VBoard can be applied to the exterior of shipments to provide extra protection. However, it's also important to note that when manufacturers are looking to increase structural integrity when they're packaging their products, VBoard can also be utilized inside the carton, as shown on the image on the right. This method reinforces the corners and adds extra protection to the edges of the product. We also offer VBoard with a variety of coatings for those specialized applications that require unique surface properties. Poly coating and scuff shield help to protect against abrasion, which can be especially useful in furniture applications like we see here. And for items that require extra impact protection, we can incorporate additional cushioning like the foam shown on the right. And while VBoard is our core product, we offer custom engineered solutions for specific packaging challenges. I'll turn it back over to Art to discuss these in detail.
Thank you again, Lisa. Our next product is NotchBoard. NotchBoard is made by cutting right-angle notches into our VBoard. This creates a perfect protective perimeter around any 90-degree angle. Try saying that fast 3 times. Perfect protective perimeter. The one-piece design aids in strength and is user-friendly to apply, which makes it a win for the folks on the packaging line. Our NotchBoard is very versatile. If you want to limit your packaging SKUs, you can telescope our NotchBoards to overlap them on smaller packs. You can see this in the picture on the left for packaging different size screens that go into apartment buildings. On the right, you see a multiple notched NotchBoard in a bent configuration that works like a bookend to keep that valuable TV in a vertical position during transit. This is the safest position for shipping. This might also be helpful for shipping windows and mirrors. Here is another great example of NotchBoard protecting a bedroom dresser. Notice again how this manufacturer also is able to use NotchBoard in an overlapping method, telescoping 2 lengths to accommodate various dresser sizes, allowing them to minimize the number of packaging SKUs. So we've mentioned VBoard, NotchBoard. We'll now move on to Mega VBoard. Mega VBoard are our corners that are wider than the industry standard. This is a great picture to show how we bring many of these features we've discussed together. Here we show Mega VBoard. This one has 6-inch by 6-inch legs. The longer legs allow for more coverage on the face of the product beyond the most critical corners. It's notched at each corner to make it easy to apply on the box and creates a tight corner fit. Laminations products are easy to apply and very cost effective, making it one of the best solutions to protect your shipments from multiple impact. Now here is an example of our Mega VBoard being used to protect a California King mattress. During transit, they received damage on the edge of the mattresses that was getting scraped during the loading and unloading process. Our solid fiber Mega VBoards can be used either inside or outside the box to provide a durable skid plate to prevent this type of damage. Now, many of you out there are very well versed with edge protection, but just in case you're a bit newer to the packaging market, let's take a few moments to give you a quick overview of our pallet top. They are made with 2 pieces of custom-sized V-board, notched and riveted together to create a sturdy frame. It ships like a 1-piece UChannel, but easily opens into a 1-piece picture frame minus the picture. Custom sizes can be designed to meet the precise needs of your particular application. Let's take a look at a few examples of pallet tops being used in the general furniture industry. Here you'll see how our pallet tops can be used on the outside of a box to offer perimeter protection. You can also add vertical V-boards to the corners so that every edge is protected from an untimely digger off a UPS or FedEx conveyor belt. Pallet tops are easy to handle and apply in seconds. Let's take a look at a few more applications, and hopefully this will give you some idea of companies in your area that have similar packaging situations. Here we see a great packaging upgrade for an office furniture set. The Laminations account manager asked our packaging engineering staff to help on a sales call in the field, along with the distributor salesperson to this end user. The end user sought a solution that would help decrease their damage rates and improve their shipping options. On the left is the before picture, where we see the customer was using corrugated along with strapping. Additionally, they used small V-guards to cure the problem of the strapping cutting through the corrugated. Notice how oddly shaped the pack was. It was a creative box design, but totally inefficient and ineffective as it had an unsatisfactory damage rate. They clearly were not able to double stack these units. Now on the right, we cubed out the pack and reinforced it with our pallet top and 4 pieces of V-board. The customer was thrilled with this reduction in damage and was able to save money by more effectively shipping the product. Here we see a before pack of a popular fitness equipment manufacturer's treadmill. Our solution was a relatively simple one, using pallet top to reinforce the corrugated box that this treadmill is shipped in. We were able to give the pack the extra structural integrity that it needed to stack multiple units on top of one another. This optimized shipping and, of course, helped reduce damage. Here are 2 examples where we have helped manufacturers who sell into the home improvement or big box stores. They're both great pallet top examples where we improved structural integrity, critical corner impact protection, and created a pack optimized for shipping stacked products.
Hey, Art, we've got a couple of questions about the pallet tops here.
Okay.
People are asking if there's any stock sizes.
Oh, great question. There are no standard sizes. However, there are some sizes that are more common. This is a custom-made item. Pallet tops can be made in most any size, in any shape. They can be made square, rectangle, even round. They can be made in many thicknesses as well, depending on the customer's application. What's best about this item is no tooling or investment from the customer. and the lead time is just slightly longer than that of basic VBoard. So please reach out to your local Laminations rep for some design assistance. Back to our programming. FlexBoard. FlexBoard is our strong VBoard corners repeatedly notched so it can now be used around radiused surfaces. This would be ideal for architectural windows, curved tables, chair backs, countertops, bed headboards, and countless other creative applications. Now, as you know, our VBoard edge protectors are bent to 90-degree angles. However, we can also form a one-piece U-shaped channel. This would be used on the end of panels, tables, doors, or other double-edged items. This is quick and simple to install and offers excellent beam strength. This is important should you want the product to have packaging that minimizes bending, such as long, fragile lighting fixtures, or perhaps decorative moldings. We can then add a cover or a top to the U-channel, thus creating a U-crate. U-crates are fantastic for shipping long, narrow items. This product offers better impact resistance and beam strength than corrugated, and is more stackable, durable, and easier to handle than shipping tubes in equivalent thicknesses. In this picture, you see a U-crate whose side legs have been telescoped by oversized wooden end blocks. This was done to contain a rolled patio awning for shipping that was larger than the bottom U-channel. Like VBoards, these are custom made in custom sizes as needed by your customer. End enclosures can be designed to best fit the application. Your Laminations account rep is here to help you design the best fit for your customer's product.
Well, thanks, Art, for highlighting some specific examples of how our products can solve some of the most common packaging challenges. At this point in the presentation, I'd like to discuss another way that we go above and beyond to help our distributor partners win in the marketplace. Aside from providing consistent, high-quality products, Laminations offers technical support, including dedicated packaging engineers. And because our packaging engineers frequently join us in the field, they can provide packaging recommendations based on real-world use cases. So on that note, I'll turn it over to Corey Nugent, our lead packaging engineer, so that he can share information about the resources available from his team.
Thank you, Lisa. As mentioned earlier, here at Laminations, we're committed to staying on top of current packaging trends in multiple industries. And as you can see from the presentation today, e-commerce is definitely a fast-growing segment. So we're excited to become members of the Amazon Packaging Support and Supplier Network, also called APAS. This gives us access to additional resources and information that can help customers who are selling on the Amazon platform. We have also made the investment in improving our ISTA test lab. ISTA, International Safe Transit Association, creates test standards that are used to replicate hazards that the package and product will see when being shipped to help ensure that it arrives safely on your doorstep. The ISTA tests are a series of different tests that are performed on your package, which you can see multiple versions of multiple types of the tests here on this slide. The types of tests and the severity of the test is based on the size, weight, and the mode of distribution. These can be conducted on small parcel items, unitized loads, or any other product that would be shipping LTL. Now let's take a closer look at one test that will be performed on furniture that is shipped via LTL. Here we see a package of patio furniture that is manufactured overseas but is distributed in the US. The typical corrugated packaging can quickly break down when it is being shipped and moved around by hand. During transit, these items will be tipped over in many different orientations. The test being performed here is the incline impact test that shows what can happen when your package during a quick acceleration or a sudden stop. The package on the right includes Laminations VBoard on the outside of the box as an exoskeleton that will take the blunt force of any impact your product would receive. This is just one example of the various tests that we can perform to ensure that your structural integrity of your shipment.
Well, thanks, Corey. There's no doubt that this type of testing can be a game changer when presenting recommendations to an end user. So next, I'd like to share our footprint for servicing our distributor partners across the country. As shown by this slide, Laminations has 5 manufacturing facilities across the country to support you and your customers. Wherever you need packaging protection assistance, Laminations is well positioned to help. Just contact one of our dedicated account managers. So let's recap what we've discussed today. In the current COVID-19 environment, we are seeing significant increases in online spending, especially in the furniture and furniture-related categories. Based on this, we believe that it makes sense to target your efforts on the furniture market since they often struggle with damage throughout the supply chain process. To help you address specific packaging challenges, Laminations offers not only custom engineered products, but also technical resources. Our goal is simple: to do what others can't or won't to help you win in the marketplace. And while this wraps up our prepared content, I'd like to ask Corey, who's been monitoring the questions, if there are any questions that we can address before we sign off.
Hi, Lisa. Yes, we've had a few questions that have came in. We've had one person ask, I've noticed a lot of printing going on in our products. Could you elaborate more on what capabilities we have?
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing that up. We can print on the majority of our products, and it's actually a great way to reinforce your customer's brand. So if you've got an application that requires printing, whether it's a custom logo or some type of instructional verbiage like do not double stack, just reach out to your local account manager to discuss the options. Corey, any other questions?
We just have one more question. What is our team's availability to assist in the field?
Oh, wow, that's a great question, especially right now. During the pandemic, our team is trying to do our part by continuing to run our plants and operate our business in the safest possible manner. And while our account managers and technical resources have been sheltering at home over the last couple of months, we're ready to engage as the restrictions are being lifted across the country. We've got technology that we can use to provide real-time support whenever possible. But if you've got a particular project that requires us to be available in person, really the best thing to do is to contact your local account manager, and we'll work together to develop a game plan. Well, folks, I think that this is a good point to wrap up. As a reminder, you'll receive an email next week that will give you access to the recorded session. And once again, I'd like to thank you for your time and attention this afternoon. Please enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.